Good evening, welcome back to another video with a guy and his project. Today we are working on the 2004 Ford F-150 with the 5.4 liter Triton in it, and we are doing the break-in oil change. So the way I understand it, not the way I understand it, I just put an engine in this truck, a brand new remanufactured whatever engine, and from the way I understand it, the Ford break-in procedure is to put conventional oil in from the get-go, which I'm running conventional oil at the moment, and then at 500 miles they want you to pull that oil out and put some more conventional oil in, and then that's good for another 5,000, which case you can go to synthetic, whatever you want to do. We'll probably hit 3,000 and do that more conventional, and then another 3,000 before I go to synthetic, because I am freakishly anal about that stuff. So today is the 500 mile service, which is just oil and a filter, but we are using conventional oil, which typically I don't do, but that's what they want, so that's what we're going to use. Just the O'Reilly's house brand, whatever it actually is, I don't know. We're also using a Purolator Boss oil filter that Amazon utterly destroyed when they shipped because they put a box in an envelope and it got squished it, but the filter itself seems to be okay. This has become my favorite filter to use, the Purolator Boss. Not sponsored, however, if they'd like to, I'd love them to. Anywho, moving on. We're gonna get this on the lift. I just spent about 10 minutes warming up the engine. Yes, I know people don't care about that either because you put condensation in if you just let it idle. We're not sampling it, we're just draining it. So, we're gonna go ahead and pop the hood first because I have a tendency to forget that. Oh. Hood popped, and then we're gonna pick this sucker up. All right, truck is in the air. We've got a 3/8 ratchet with a 16mm socket for our drain plug. We're gonna grab our oil drain pan and gonna swing on down under here where we're gonna spend the majority of our time today. It's a beautiful evening. I've got the door open for some fresh air because it is gorgeous outside. Yes, I know you have to listen to the freeway more, but it is what it is. All right, I think you guys are upside down, but we're going for the engine oil pan right here. First oil change with this oil, or with this engine. Oh. And then this brand new pan. Oh, there it goes. Like I said, I already got her hot, so she's ready to roll. Oh, come on. Still looks beautiful, but there's only 500 miles on it, so I would expect it to be beautiful. Keep her in the pan here. We're gonna keep letting that dribble, but something I forgot to do that I normally like to do on a new engine, or a new engine to me, is I like to put a magnet somewhere by the drain bolt on a pan. And then next time I change it, I'll pull that magnet off right before I pull the plug, and any metal that's collected in this vicinity will then hopefully come out with the oil. Not that I'm expecting oil. You could also do the same thing with a magnetic oil drain plug. However, I don't have one of them today, so I use those guys. I'm gonna let this dribble drip and we'll be back. Alright, it's been like literally 8 minutes and we still got a steady stream. But it's a pretty lightweight, steady stream. So what I'm going to do is plug this up. I'm going to get the oil filter, and I'll come back, pull the plug for whatever's pulled up just to satisfy my brain. And then we will tighten her up and fill her up. But while we do that, let's move to the oil filter. Oil filter on this guy is right here. So you've got your lower coolant hose, and it runs over here to your oil filter, which is of course black, and it's a mobile one. You guys see this right here? Not really. Cool. I want to get a tool and a ratchet. What if we sneak on up in there with the extension? There we go. Hopefully you guys can see that. So there is a drip tray on most of these trucks here. Mine is currently sitting over on the shelf until such a time as I feel like installing it back in. I don't actually like the drip tray, because I feel like it just makes a big mess, which if I want to make a big mess, I'd rather do it without a tray. So without the drip tray, as you can see, we just drip off of the rack and pinion. with the drip tray, we drip between there, we drip here, and we drip over here. So that's why I do it the way I do it. Probably can't see, but whatever. Welcome to my life. Uh-oh. Now the trick is to not drop the filter upside down while you're trying to pull it out. Wish I had some words of advice on how to do that. Instead, all I want to say is be careful about it. And there we are. There's the old filter. Put that upside down now. Alright, now the age-old question, to pre-fill or not to pre-fill your oil filter. I am a pre-fill guy unless it goes in upside down. I'm also a shake your oil guy. Lots of debate on the upside, or on the fill or not fill. I don't put a lot of thought into it, but I do pre-fill. I let it bubble up a little bit. I've learned to only do that once. If you fill it all the way, you do spill quite a bit. But if you just get enough to pump it in there once, it seems to be alright. Okay, so now I'm going to take that and put it back in. And yes, I understand you probably can't see anything I'm doing, and I apologize. I don't know how to get you guys up in there, because it is up in there a little bit. Yes, you spill some new fluid when you pre-fill. Oh my gosh, not the end of the world. And quite honestly, I think no matter how you do it, pre-fill or don't pre-fill, you're going to be okay. Alright, so one-handed grip. I want to tighten it that much, and I will have to use a tool to get that back off again, which is annoying, but that's the way of the world. I'm just going to clean up my mess, and then we'll go back to the oil pan. We're now back over at the oil pan. I'm going to drain one last time whatever's collected at the bottom since last we talked. For no other reason than that's what I feel like doing. Being that this is my show, I get to do what I feel like doing. See, it's probably a good half a cup we just got out of there that we wouldn't have, just by letting it settle a little longer. Okay, I'm going to plug her back up. We're going to go to the top and fill it. But before we go to the top and fill it, got one last thing to do here. Two last things. And we're going to torque this to about 23 foot-pounds. Which I feel like is right about there. Now we're just going to drop her down. Alright. Let's pop some hoodage. Swing that up. Find a spot for you guys to hang. Alright. I'm going to grab our oil fill cap. Remove that. Stick our funnel in. Hope it stays. And I believe we're looking for 6.5 quarts. This is the one I used to dump in the funnel. We're just going to go ahead and dump that all the way in. The funnel. It's the one I used to fill up the filter. Hopefully the freeway's not too loud. I'm going to grab our other 1 quart. It's all 5W20 conventional 500 mile break-in procedure. I'm going to do half a quart here. I like O'Reilly's because they give you a big mouth so you can just dump this stuff out. That's about half a quart. So we're currently at 1.5 quarts. I'll shake up the 5-quarter. This one actually comes with a film on it. Oh, get rid of that. Get rid of that. Now we're gonna dump this whole jug in. Nope, O'Reilly's not a sponsor. I was just at O'Reilly's when I remembered I needed to buy oil for this. And this I'm going to keep in for about probably 2,500 to 3,000 miles, at which point we will be at 3,000 to 3,500 miles. I will change it again with more conventional, and I will run that for another 3,000 miles so that we get at least probably 6,000 miles on conventional oil. And then at that point I will go back and start using synthetic. Not because that's what you're supposed to do or how you're supposed to do it, just because that's the way I'm going to do it. Alright, we'll grab our funnel. I'm going to pop that cap back on for the crankcase. Then while all that oil falls down to the pan, I'm going to clean up my mess. Now that the oil's had a chance to settle down to the pan, I'm going to pull the dipstick. I ain't going to look at it, I'm just going to wipe it. Stick it back down the tube. Wow, it's dark down there. Then I'm going to pull it and I'm actually going to look at it. Pulling out B. Might actually be right on the full line. So we're going to dump it back down in there. Oh, that's my funny bone. Ouch. So knowing that the engine's got enough oil in it, we're now going to come in here. We're going to take note of our mileage so we know when to do the 2,500 or 3,000 as you wish. We're going to start this up. And I'm going to let it idle. This is just what I do. I'm going to let it idle for about 5 minutes. Make sure that gets all circulated, moving through the engine, and then I'm going to shut it down, and then I'll check it again in the morning and take her for a drive. Alright folks, thanks for watching how to change the brake-in oil on a 2004 F150 5.4 liter. Should be the same for any 5.4 liter Expedition, F250, whatever. But that's how I do it. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. If you want to comment, please comment. If you want to leave a thumbs up, please leave a thumbs up. If you want to say something dirty, say something dirty, whatever. I mean, I don't know why I'm giving you permission. You guys do it anyway, but I'm trying to encourage, I guess would be the better way to put it. So thanks for watching. See you next time. Adios.